Hello, my favorite people. So today we're not gonna talk politics and we're not gonna explore Moscow. Today I'm gonna share with you my journey to the disappearing world of VEPSIANS, one of Russia's smallest indigenous people. Their villages and unique culture are literally fading away. And I was lucky to get a chance to visit one of those remote places before it's too late. I've never been to a proper village ever in my life because, see, I'm a city girl. I was born in Moscow, I was raised in Moscow, then I lived only in big cities, and I've never get a chance, to experience that village life. And recently, I came across this YouTuber who had a vlog about these Vepsian villages. To be honest, before that, I didn't even know who Vepsians were. And of course, I had to book a tour. It was 3 nights and 4 days and cost me 36,000 rubles, which is approximately 500 US dollars, plus tickets to St. Petersburg, because yes, the group was being picked up from Moscow railway station in St. Petersburg. So basically, I had two options, either go there by car or by train. I chose the train, of course. And I decided to go from Moscow to St. Petersburg with a fast train called Sapsan, which takes about 4 hours only to get from Moscow to St. Petersburg. And to get back to Moscow, I decided to book double-decker train, and I choose upper bank on the second floor, which was my biggest mistake because apparently ceilings in a double-decker train is lower than in a normal train. So it was absolutely uncomfortable being on that, well, shelf, I would call it, because there was not enough room to sit properly. You could only crawl there. You couldn't even turn around to go from the bed. You had to climb backwards. It was terrible. But anyway, this vlog is not about the train, it's about Vepsan village and Vepsan people. And gotta tell you, this vlog will be a little longer than it usually is, and I think it's gonna be two parts of it because there's so many things I wanted to film and share with you that you know I had to film it all, and it's a bit longer than usual. But I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself something yummy, and well, I hope you're gonna enjoy this vlog. I arrived in St. Petersburg around 2 p.m. Since I got there one day earlier, I booked a hotel right next to the station, literally 1 minute walk away. The hotel is called Platform 9 and 3 quarters, and as you can guess, it's completely Harry Potter themed. It was absolutely amazing. The whole place is decorated like the movies. Breakfast was included, the room was cozy, not huge but nice, and best of all, it had a balcony overlooking the busy streets of St. Petersburg. I loved it. I spent the day walking around the city I adore. I even passed by the building where my mom grew up. Yes, she was born in St. Petersburg. I went inside the entrance hall of that old Stalin era building. It still has beautiful preserved stucco and those gorgeous carved metal railings. You know what? I have a tradition. Every time I come to St. Petersburg, I come to this particular house because my mom was born here and she lived here till she was, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. So this was her first home. And I always send her pictures, I always send her videos when I visit this place. Because imagine, my mom is 75 right now, and imagine it was 70 years ago. And of course she's really happy to see this, her house, place where she grew up. Then I wandered through the famous courtyard wells, those deep, enclosed courtyards where the sunlight barely reaches the ground. I watched boats sailing on Neva River and enjoyed a stunning sunset. And then morning came, and our adventure was about to begin. So I was just taking a shower, and well, this is the towel. The next morning, I met my group at 10, and off we went. The weather was perfect, bright sun and beautiful skies. We stopped halfway for coffee and snacks, but after that, I slept almost the entire way.
We made a stop at this local cafe. I have ice cream and pie. I have 2 more hours. Oh,
And when we finally arrived, wow, it was real, authentic rural Russia. We stayed right at our guide's house, a big wooden house divided into two parts. He lives in one, his mom in the other. The location is magical. The house sits directly on the bank of the Oyet River, with a sauna and absolutely stunning views all around. Inside there are three rooms. Two smaller ones went to the couples, and in the big room there were four of us girls, total strangers. But we all clicked immediately and everything felt comfortable and fun. They welcomed us with a hot homemade lunch and delicious local tincture that everyone went crazy for. We washed our own dishes, village style, and to be honest, I loved our room. It has such a genuine atmosphere, an old gramophone with real records, cozy beds, and huge windows overlooking the river. And after lunch, we walked to the House of Culture for a masterclass on making traditional kalitki pies. The walk itself was gorgeous, beautiful views of the river and the old village houses. My heart was already full. It's about 5 p.m., I think, and we are going to see, well, it's called House of Culture. Anyway, some folk. It's gonna be, I believe so. It's very remote, and it's like absolutely different planet. And you know what? Our group of people were 8, and so far, all guys are really cool. I'm lucky. It's shaking. Oh my god, it's shaking. You can feel. Wow. Oh my god. And I'm really, really, really afraid of heights. It's not that high, but look at the view. I can do it. Don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. When we arrived at the House of Culture, we were warmly greeted by a friendly woman dressed in a beautiful traditional VEPSIAN clothing. They led us into a hall where a big table was already set up with rolling pins, flour, and everything we needed. First, we all introduced ourselves, and then they started teaching us how to make kalitki, the local traditional pies. They explained how to prepare the dough, what ingredients go in, and how to knead it properly. For the filling, they gave us a millet porridge. It was really interesting. They even let us try kneading the dough ourselves.
Вот помяли.
I'm not much of a cook, I've never really baked before, so this was a great new experience for me. My kalitki didn't turn out perfect, of course, because I was filming with two cameras and constantly getting distracted, but I tried my best, honestly. They showed us how to shape them nicely. Then we placed all the pies on one baking tray, brushed them with something, I think it was sour cream or something else, and sent them off to bake. While the kalitki were baking, we moved to another building for an introductory concert about Vepsian culture. They spoke in both Vepsian and Russian.
Родные напевы. Так называется программа.
Nie chcesz tachoś kuceliba, Kieski sjarvit jogit soit, Igi hine, Rahvas vepslaine.
And in a theatrical way, told us the story of how the Vepsians settled in this territory. There were also traditional Vepsian dances. Afterwards, they showed us their theater. They make all the decoration and puppets themselves. Then we went to another hall where they waved carpets and belts on old wooden looms. Everything is handmade. Can you imagine? They showed us the process and displayed stunning traditional knitted belts, which, of course, we could buy later.
Снимается. И аккуратненько.
They also told us about Vepsian beliefs, how they are both Christian and pagan. They believe that every place has its own master, the master of the house, the master of the forest, and so on. We even get to meet the master of the forest. It was a really cool moving installation, super atmospheric and interesting. Finally, the kalitki were ready. We went back for the tea with fresh pies. They turned out incredibly delicious. I immediately spotted my own crooked one, of course. We had warm, heartfelt conversations over tea while they shared more about their culture. And of course, we bought a couple of carpets. Then we walked back home. About 20 minutes walk through the whole village. Okay, so we finished with our small excursion, I would say. We baked, not baked, but we made
these small pies called kalitki. It's traditional food here. And here we go. This bridge that moves. Okay, we finally came to our house where we're gonna stay. And now I want to go and see Banya. So this is Banya. See the house. There's like steps or so. I love it here, you know. It's so quiet. Really. Amazing. So this is Banya. Oh, smells amazing here. And all these lights. This is so pretty. Cool. And look at this. It's just amazing. Let's go inside. But let me just, I think, switch to this camera. There's a lock. I think it's Banya, right? I'll put it here. And we go inside. Oh, it's warm already. Wow. Oh, it's so hot. My goodness, my poor camera. Oh my god, no. Okay, it's too hot inside, so I'm gonna leave my camera here because it's not good for the camera. And let's go one more time. Okay, so, you know, the door, as you can see, the door is really, really low. And this door is even lower, you know? So, let's go. You cannot see anything here, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's impossible. When we arrived, a hot dinner was already waiting for us. Я положу, спасибо. We all sat down together, ate, laughed, and talked. It was so much fun. Guys, look how cozy it is. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet, apart from the car that is passing by. And our guys already went to this banya. As it got dark, we noticed how cozy it felt. Looking at the glowing windows of the house with their curtains, it was just perfect. I slept like a baby that night and woke up completely rested. Breakfast was already waiting for us. The morning atmosphere in the house was so cozy, especially with the sun gently shining through the windows. By the way, almost all the food is cooked in the traditional Russian stove. They do have a gas stove, of course, but the house is mainly heated by the big stove, and most of the cooking is done in it too. It felt so authentic. After breakfast, we all got into the car and headed out to explore the nearby villages. I always sit in the front, partially because I get motion sick and partially because I was filming and needed the best view, you know. Our guide told us so many interesting stories along the way. As we drove further north, we suddenly noticed snow on the ground. It felt like we were literally driving into winter. We stopped at a very picturesque bridge to take photos and shoot some footage. It was stunning, a real traditional village right on the bank of the Oyet River. I would say this is a truly disappearing village. All the houses were the same color, that beautiful weathered grayish dark wood.
Смотри, там такой дом с крышей такой, это вот такое правильное ощущение.
We took lots of pictures, admired the views and half-abandoned houses, and then continued to a small museum about how the VEPSIANs used to live. They showed us the traditional homemade shoes. I especially remember a tiny child's boot made of a calf leather. We saw the interior of an old izba and even how they used to hang a baby cradle from a long pole attached to the ceiling so it could gently rock. It was fascinating. Then we drove to the next village and went for a walk. Of course, we all had to put rubber boots. Whoever didn't have their own could borrow from our guide. We also got sprayed with the tick repellent because, ticks don't sleep here. We came to almost abandoned village. Look at this. If it wasn't for us, it would be dead quiet here. Look at it. This is amazing. Seriously. And actually it feels like March here. See? It's a lot of snow. It's pretty cold. Even though today is 1st of May. Imagine. such a weird feeling, you know, being here, honestly. Because, you know, like you look at these houses and you like imagine what life was here before, you know. It was full of people, kids were running on the streets, you know. And it's very sad, you know, that places like this die, you know, slowly, slowly. Can you believe that in this whole village there are only 5 people? Only 5 people live here. Oh, and this is a library. Look at the entrance. And by the way, here there is no signal. Zero. So I don't know how people live here. They don't have phone, they don't have internet, they don't have TV, nothing. They have nothing here. Which is, I think, from one side is cool because, you know, you don't, well, trash your brain with all the news and, you know, all this negative information. You just live in peace and quiet, and actually this kind of life becomes very popular nowadays, at least in Russia. Many people, they don't want to deal with all this restrictions situation and everything that's going on around. They don't want to deal with that, and they just leave everything behind in the city. They buy a house in a village somewhere like remote, and they live there quietly, peacefully, you know, no mortgages, no these bank accounts and all this stuff, you know. They live happily here with cash, and I don't know, but maybe they have got whatever. The point is that life here is so much calmer, easier, and to be honest, I love it here. Lunch.
Так, хорошо. Еще, так, пожелания еще, так, так.
Да нет, конкретно отличается.
Давай я.
We just had an amazing lunch. I mean, everything is so delicious outside, right? That's why I like camping. Now we have about 5 minutes before I have to head back. And the guide, Oleg, he said that somewhere there is a small church. And also, you know what? Here in this forest, there are bears, like wildlife in general, but bears also live here. So cool. Anyway, we have all this special, you know, equipment like whistles and bear spray and some other devices that I don't even know what they are, but to scare bears away, you know, just in case.
Просто послушай.
You know, in this village, only one person lives. One in this house. He has a dog. Somewhere. Oh, Tibu! Just imagine living alone in a village. And then But look, this house has the entrance, so probably someone used to live here. When we got back home, a hot and delicious lunch was already waiting for us as usual. Every day we enjoy something different. The food here is always varied and incredibly tasty. This is our guide Oleg and his friend Alexander. Veps language. While Oleg takes us on excursions, Alexander and his wife take care of us. They cook our meals and keep the house warm. Right now, Alexander is heating up the banyo for us. It takes several hours for the sauna to properly heat up, so he starts preparing it in advance while we're out on our evening excursions. Here is water that is going to be heated by the stove. I don't know what you call this. And the ceiling is really low. As you can see, it's, here is a cold water. You mix hot water and cold water in these pots and use the small pot to pour water on yourself. And now Alexander is going to start on the fire. So let's go for a walk because it's about 5. I'm not gonna go there. It's about 5 p.m. now here, and as you can see, we were just inside the house. We had lunch and we have some free time now. Здравствуйте! Someone went to, do yoga thing. Some went riding a bicycle, and someone is sleeping. Anyway, and I decided to go and show you a little bit around. Now, here in this village, as I understand, live only elderly people, like 65, 70s, all young people left because, clearly, there is nothing to do, like nothing. So all young people went to the city, St. Petersburg, Moscow, all like other big cities, to study, to work and everything. Very cute house. This one it's written Banya, and what a beautiful brook here, or stream. I don't really know the difference. It's pretty. Oh, and here I think they fixed the car, Chickens. I miss Felix. You know what? I wonder what these things are. This? Some kind of room inside, like underground. It looks like it's a bunker. But I think, and also here, I think they keep... No, it's like a fridge, I think. Storage room, fridge room. That's what I think. I'm not sure because nobody lives there clearly. But I think because underground is cold, it's supposed to be cold, maybe they keep some cans or, food goods there, probably. What the... Why? I don't... There is like a spider net all over. I don't understand. See? This is the spider net. See? I don't know if you can see it. I really hope I don't have a huge spider somewhere on me. It's not like he's gonna eat me. Also, they don't have gas here and heating system, so they buy wood, and it's quite expensive. So all people who live here, the pension is really small and they're not able to buy so much wood and heat their houses. So the guys, the co-founders of this project, the tourist thing, they actually support, they buy wood for old people here in this village from, money that we bring them. Like they sell tours, and the money that they earn from us, part of them of course, but they used to buy wood for lonely elderly people here to heat their houses in winter. I'm home. They don't have big fans here, as you can see. Okay, how to open? Okay. Okay. Ah, other side. Okay, good. Ta-da. So this is the house. Ira. See? All this wood cost 8,500 rubles, which is expensive. Very expensive. We came to make dolls. Something like this, I believe we're gonna make. Oh no, something like this. We came here to make a traditional VEPSIAN protective dolls. Actually, that was the whole point of the masterclass. They gave us pieces of fabric, little rags, and showed us how to fold them, how to tie them, and what to add to turn these simple scraps into a real object, a protective doll. Then they handed each of us a thread, and we started twisting it. When we joined all the threads together, they formed a beautiful belt. This is also a traditional VEPSIAN craft, the most basic, classic version of their belt weaving. You twist many threads and then combine them so they naturally coil into a strong belt. Usually this belt is given to the head of the family, but since we only had one guy with us that day, we solemnly presented it to him. The evening was approaching, and the sunset was absolutely breathtaking. We walked back home on foot, across the whole village, crossing the wooden pedestrian bridge. Later that night, after dinner, we sat drinking tea, playing games, laughing non-stop.
Я был отличный подросток. Да? На первой парте. Нет.
Someone was drawing, the atmosphere was warm and joyful. And before bed, our guide read us a traditional VEPSIAN tales. Though, honestly, calling them fairy tales feels like a stretch.